Blog Talk Radio.
Welcome to Two Psychics. This is Michael Edley, Evidential Medium and Mystic, discussing all things spiritual.
Hello, I'm Mary Amy of Two Psychics, an intuitive wisdom coach, tapping into your mystical life and sharing messages I receive about you.
Good evening, everyone. This is Michael Edley, Psychic Medium. Such a pleasure to be with you tonight. Very exciting episode we have tonight. Lots going to be coming through, and very, very excited for what we have going on. And without further ado, I should say, my lovely co-host Mary Amy is with me. Hello, Mary Amy. How are you today?
Hi, Michael. How are you?
I am good. I am good.
Welcome.
That was a very powerful welcome. Woo!
Well, you know what? Here we are, two psychics from the East Coast. You're in New Jersey. I'm in New York, and we're sharing all of this information and I guess some exciting and fun guests that we are bringing on. And so here we are. It's episode 19. How's your day going so far? Mine's going very well. I feel rested. I spent time in nature. How about you?
I'm not as rested. I've been going, but it's good. I am glad to be here. I am hyped and excited for what we have tonight. So I'm going to just bring that energy. I've just been going nonstop, so I'm going to keep that energy cycle going.
Love it.
But it's
I love
good,
it.
you know. Yeah, you know, it's been nice. We've had some beautiful days here at the Jersey Shore, mixed in with a little rain, so we're getting a little bit of that balance. You know, we're on that 6/6 portal today. Very, very exciting day for people that follow the numerology behind this. We have a very exciting strawberry full moon coming up, so we could talk a little bit about those things if you want. But yeah,
I'd love to. So before we get on to our, 6/6, and I want to talk about dreams as well. That's what I would like to share. I just want to tell everyone today is June 6th, and it is episode 19 of Two Psychics. And tonight's topic is consciousness, and we have a wonderful guest, Athena in Truth. And I'm going to, if we have time, do a visualization, and we're going to bring on a listener or two sometime during the show. And our number here, if you want to dial in, is 515-605-9866. You can always reach Michael at his website, michaeledley.com, and my website, maryamyofficial.com. Upcoming, we have a couple of guests in the next few weeks. June 13th, we have Laura Stenchfeld, and I reminded you a few weeks ago that she was coming on. She's a pet psychic, so she communicates with animals.
Ooh, how cool is that?
Yes, I love it. And then June 27th, Jilly Clark, who's an angelic channeler. She's a starseed. She's a way shower. That's tremendous. And before we have our guests, I'm going to give you some information on her. She is an author and she is a channeler. So, Michael, tell us all about 6/6. What is that in numerology?
All right. So anyone that follows numerology, energy cycles, and the transition of the cycles, we're basically in a portal of energy. We're in a dynamic gateway of energy that's centered around love, around relationships. So it's a point in time. It's a cycle of energy that should allow us to resolve and release any type of negativity, conflicts, unresolved issues, things that have been avoided. So it's an opportunity, I think, to bring closure and healing to the fundamental balance of our energy systems. So that's one thing. It's a really, really important point that if you are trying to find closure in certain areas of your life, before you move on, you're trying to bring healing, bring balance. This is the energy cycle that you want. This is so number 6. And if we go into numerology, I know we have a lot of people that follow numerology. It's very interesting. And for number 6, that number 6 is the nurturer. So number 6 in numerology is all about unconditional love. It's about service. It's about responsibility, justice, the home, the balance in the home, enjoying those simple things of beauty. So there's a lot to that really cool vibe of unconditional love, acceptance. But on the flip side of that, what we have to be aware of in this portal, in this cycle, and that sixth energy are the challenges of perfectionism, of self-righteousness, of trying to control all the outcomes. So a lot of the process right now, I would say, is being able to let go and allow the energy to flow. Let it go, let it flow. And that's really the fundamental balance and the basics of this. If you want to keep it simple, just remember this energy cycle. Let it go and let it flow. That's a really simple line, and I think that'll keep people maintaining that sense of release, that sense of bringing balance and bringing closure to those areas that need it. So that's kind of the basic gist of it. I think it's a good time if we want to start manifesting. I think before we start manifesting our highest and full potential in any area of our life, we have to look at the fundamental balance of our energy systems, our chakra system, and all the energy that we're absorbing, the energy within, the external energies, and we have to be very, very aware of those and how they're affecting us. So this is that point for old cycle closure and allowing, all those cycles that could bring bits and pieces of chaotic energy or uncertainty or not necessarily keeping you on a firm footing, a firm foundation. This is the point to release that, close those energy centers, close those cycles and those patterns, release, and bring in and open that space, open those energy centers to the new loving energy that can flow in once we close and release all that's not serving our highest and best. So I think that's a lot of what it comes down to. They also say this is for those that talk about karmic cycles, this is one where they say we renew the pure heart and the good intentions of our karmic cycles. So as the old cycles close, it allows us to expand that heart center, that heart chakra, and we can expand and open that and allow that unconditional love and that being of service. And I think a lot of what we do as healers, as psychics, as mediums, when we truly find our path, there may be a point in time where some people do it as a self-serving interest, or, our ego can control us for a certain period of time. But when we release that and we allow that unconditional love and that being of service and giving back and finding that we're just a small part of the bigger whole collective, that's when those really good intended karmic cycles start opening for us. And that's when that heart center starts expanding, and that unconditional love not only releases from us, but starts coming into us. So important right now. So in this 6-6 energy cycle, to just release that negative, anything you're going through. And I think at this point in time and in this current energy cycle that we're releasing, people are going through a lot, where there's a lot on everyone's plate. We're carrying a lot of energy. So to release that or to balance that and to try to find a new beginning or a new awakening, this is your opportunity. So that's what I would say. Anything bothering you, anything that needs to be cleared, healed, released, resolved, this is the point where we're doing it. So that's the cycle of energy we want to embrace and we want to take advantage of. So so that's it. And then when we go and we look at the numerology of 666, just think that the 6-6, think about the unconditional love, the service, the responsibility that we have to be the best we can be, so we can be the best for others, So it's like filling our own cup so we can fill the cups of others. And that's what this is about. And I like it. I think it's a really, really good energy cycle. So now that I've gone on and on and on, what do you think, Mary Amy?
Well, I have to say that I'm definitely going through a huge shift myself personally. And there was evidence of this in the last 5 days. And it's related to dreams. It's related to, and I'll tell you, I think that a combination of what I've been reading, the meditation, focusing on light, I'm getting these very specific dreams, and they are premonition dreams. And premonition dreams are a warning of something in advance. It's a foretelling, and it could be good or bad. And it's kind of gotten a bad rap, premonition dreams, because you always say, oh my gosh, something dangerous. But for me, these premonition dreams are literally either what's going on in the moment of my life, or it happens to me the very next day, which is known as synchronicity, when events that have nothing to do with each other come together, and it means it's valid. And it's telling me real stuff in real time. So I would like to share with everyone, the more that you open up to your abilities, you open up through meditation, being creative, spending time in nature, asking for it, listening to people that are delving into this in this niche, which seems to be kind of coming forward in the world. Look for symbols in your dreams, dates, messages, write it down in a dream journal. Maybe there's specific people. The other thing that's been going on for me is lots of spirits visiting me, lots and lots, and it's much more clear now. It's much more specific. For example, I'm reading this book on Nikola Tesla, all about his inventions, and it was Saturday or Sunday, his spirit actually visited me. And I thought, this is so strange. I saw him earlier. I guess it was the night before, and then during the day, I fell asleep on the beach, and there he was. So what I'm really just trying to say in a nutshell is everyone focus on your intuition. There's strong feelings. There's gut reactions. I've been imagining myself more in light. And if I get a chance to do a visualization tonight, then I'll share with you some of that. But more standing in like a shower of light. And what's come through are negative and darkness that was in me, for example, some fear. And I just, I'm very excited right now. Everything that's going on, it seems to be, like Michael just said, we're in an energetic, a powerful energetic time. And this is how it's coming through in my journey. And I'm sure everyone out there is having some kind of either a paranormal experience, mystical experience, something that's going to kind of take you forward and revitalize you and reinvigorate you so that you feel more like yourself, more like who you were supposed to be. And that's what's going on with me right now. I'm pretty excited about it.
It is. It's a beautiful energy cycle, and when we can be aware of these energy cycles, then we can properly utilize them and utilize the function around the energy cycle. So that's one big thing. I would definitely say this is a time when people, we get a lot of callers that are looking, for a new relationship, a new love life, a new connection. This is definitely a time where you can find that support and that inspiration. And I do believe this is a very good time to start focusing on the high vibration relationships, the high vibratory relationships that can uplift you, and we should basically, my perspective is work on yourself, do the inner work and bring your best self to that relationship. And when a cycle like this opens, it's going to be much easier to manifest and align with those high vibration people. Those relationships uplifting, those activities that are uplifting, the people that support you, that inspire you. That's what opens in this cycle when we're properly balanced, when we've released and closed all that's no longer serving us, and we allow that new energy to flow in. It's a beautiful thing. And the interesting thing, what you also mentioned, Mary, is the premonition, the dreams. There's nothing in a premonition or a dream should be scary. I think it's just a process that startles us a little bit when we start tuning into that energy. But I can tell you, on a deep level, the soul or our collective is always speaking to us in that way, and it's always for our highest and best. The information that comes through that premonition, even if it's something, you foresee, a horrific accident or some catastrophic event, in some way, shape, or form, it's trying to warn you and prepare you so you can approach that at your highest and best, or you can navigate beyond that or past it or not allowing it to affect you. So for everyone out there listening, understand that the more you start to let go and you let that energy flow, the premonitions and the vivid dreams, they'll start to connect much more frequently. And as you connect to that energy, just don't be startled by it. Don't let it scare you or allow the fear of the ego or anything to take over and say, hey, don't listen to this or shut it out. Because it can be some of the most beneficial information that your soul and your collective and everything around you that wants to uplift you for your highest and best is trying to communicate to you through those forms of energy. And it's something that can be very powerful when we embrace it. Now, a really cool thing, too, talking about this energy cycle that we're in. So we're in that 6-6 portal that's opening this energy field. Now, even people that aren't following energy cycles, I think you'll start to see shifts, and you can start to see things happen around the full moon cycles. And that's something we also have coming in later in the month. We have a very interesting, it's the June strawberry moon. What's very interesting about this one, it's also the start of the summer solstice. And I believe that's on June 21st. And I think they say on the East Coast here, I want to say it's like 9:04 p.m. that we see it in its full strawberry and golden hue, and it's a beautiful thing, and it's something that throughout time and in this energy cycle of the 666 portal, that 666 portal opening into the strawberry full moon and summer solstice, like literally these next 3 weeks can be such a powerful energy shift for anyone that utilizes it properly. And even if you don't utilize it properly in every way, shape, and form, just attuning and opening to it will absolutely allow shifts to happen in your life. So it's really, really powerful. Anyone out there listening that hasn't tapped into energy cycles, full moon cycles, or hasn't really went on that inward journey to try to find, their soul, their belief, who they are, this is a great time to start that journey. It's a very, very powerful energy cycle. So I'm excited for my own energy and what I'm manifesting in this energy cycle. So anyone out there, this is a very, very positive opportunity for you to shift. And that's what it's all about, shifting for the positive.
Okay, and I'm going to shift us into a new direction right now. Okay, what I'm getting is, I trust my intuition here, and my plan is that we bring Robin on at 8:15. She's been on holding, and I'm thinking I don't know how long it's going to go. So if we have one caller, we're going to have the caller, and then speak about consciousness, and then bring on Robin Jelinek, who channels a group of spirits collectively known as Athena in Truth, as well as another spirit outside that group, Shiva. Now, on our page, Blog Talk Radio, you can see her website, AthenaInTruth.com. She has a book, Choose Your Universe and Experience in Freedom. You can find her on Facebook and Instagram. So I'm going to grab a caller, then we'll speak of consciousness, and then we'll bring on Robin. How's that sound?
All right, that sounds fantastic.
Okay, I'm going to grab the first person, who has been holding the longest. And let's see who this is. Don't know. Haven't screened it. Here we go. Hi, this is Mary and Michael. How are you?
Oh, yeah, I had a little meltdown. Cried in my car for about an hour. But now I feel wonderful. Got rid of a lot of that.
And who are we speaking to? And who do we have the pleasure of being on the line with? What is that?
My name's Donna. I'm in California.
Donna from California.
Hi, Donna. Great to meet you.
Well, thank you. You too.
So what's going on? What question do you have for two psychics tonight?
I think, I'm not sure. Maybe with your intuition, you can tell me. Am I going to meet a guy soon?
Well, I don't know if you heard our whole intro and the whole thing on this 6-6 energy portal and going into that strawberry full moon. Very, very powerful time to release anything that's not serving, anything that's unresolved, anything that needs to be healed and cleared. Beautiful cycle for that. And what I always tell people, if you're looking for the best relationship. If you haven't done that inner work, now's the time to do that before you go searching for that relationship, because I think you want to bring your best self to that relationship. And what I feel is, so let's, you know what, rather than me go on about that, we'll get into this reading. So let's so Donna, if you could just slowly say your name, and then what we're going to do is Mary and I are going to connect to your energy field, and we'll start bringing stuff through for you.
Okay, thank you. Donna.
All right, Donna. So, all right. So, interesting. So immediately, as you said your name, so different things will come to us in many different ways, but immediately around you, I'm seeing the number 17. So 17 for me, the 17th could be a significant day for you, a significant shift, but also when I look at that, I'm also getting, so it could be January and July as a 1 and a 7. So let me ask you, if January and July, the 1 and the 7, are they significant dates around you in your energy field, loved ones in spirit that had passed on that day, birthdays, anniversaries? So the January and the July, are they significant to you?
18-year-old nephew passed in July.
Okay. So that's what's going on. So your collective, what I say, your energy field is starting to talk about, they're starting to bring through. So I would say a lot of your loved ones in spirit are probably around. They're probably starting to step in. And that's how initially some of the information will start coming through. I mean, there definitely is old. So, all right. I wasn't going to go into full mediumship mode, but I have stuff coming to me. So I'm going to shift a little bit.
Oh,
I'm going to start. So there is on mom's side. So I don't believe this is mom. Mm-hmm. But I believe mom's right, is in spirit.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay. Now, is there so I'm going to give you, I feel like I'm getting a rosemary or rose. Now, I don't know if there's significance to the rose itself. I'm not seeing a picture of it. I'm actually hearing it. When I hear it, that means either someone's name, the R was there someone, Rose? Was there a Rose? Or?
No Rose. My dad's name was Robert. With the R.
So let me ask you this, with the RO, when I'm getting the RO, Robert, I don't have his energy with me, but is he in spirit? Could Grandma be giving me his? He is. All right, so that's why I'm getting the RO. That's why I'm getting the RO. That's why I did not, that's why I try to say how I'm getting it. I did not see a rose, so I knew the rose. It wasn't, we weren't talking about a rose. I was actually hearing it.
Roses then. They're bringing me roses.
Well, I think they're bringing you rose because I heard it as a rose, but they definitely wanted the grandma on mom's, mom's grandma, that motherly figure. She was a very motherly figure to you. I think she was very inspirational to those around her, or she was very, very she definitely had the way she saw things needed to go. I think she kind of ruled the roost, and she probably had
everybody's kind of like that, though, aren't they?
Well, certain people, I guess certain people can be.
Kind of.
But she comes through like she's still barking orders. Like I feel like she's even telling me how to try to bring my messages through. Pretty funny, like how she wants to be presented. So she's a very dominant personality. So I would definitely say she kind of ruled with an iron fist. I think she was very, very intelligent, but didn't let on to how intelligent she was. And I think she was very intuitive. I think she kind of knew what was going on. I feel like she's talking about now. I don't know if this is mom or you. Did you live with her? Did she live with you? I feel like she's talking about living together or her overseeing a period, you for a period of time. What's the deal with that? Did you live with her?
Well, actually, no, because my grandmother was in a state hospital because her husband put her in there because she only spoke, Polish. And so we never met her. And she lived to be 97 years old. Now, my mom, I was very close to. Very, very, very. Yeah.
So let me ask you this. Is mom's in spirit also?
Oh, yeah. She passed at the age of 60.
Oh, so that's why she's bringing this information. Oh, wow. Okay, cool. So that's why it's very interesting because what will happen is other spirit will piggytail. Yeah, they basically piggyback on mom. So I was connected to grandma's spirit, like her energy linked to mine was the strongest, but she's bringing all these people through. I mean, there's a lot. You have a lot of energy. Now she's also talking about the young Is there a Robert? Is there also?
Yeah, Robert's my dad.
Robert. Okay, Robert's your dad. You said okay. So she's definitely Robert is with her. But is there a younger male that was named after him or has a similar?
Garrett. Yeah.
And he's in spirit.
Garrett is because he had a
miscarriage.
A drug that had something in it and it killed him.
Okay, so just know, and again, she's talking about the younger male energy that was. So he is present too. All right, cool. So I want to kind of still try to bring their information through because they can understand your collective around you can bring through past, present, future. They can see opportunities. So we're going to kind of utilize them to help us answer your question. I think that's kind of cool. So. All right. Now, I'm being drawn. So, Grandma, Mom, so I'm being pulled down south. I'm being pulled to, I don't know if this is Nashville or Tennessee. What's the significance of Tennessee around you? Because I'm getting pulled to Tennessee.
The friend that lives there.
Is this a male friend that could potentially be a love interest?
No.
Okay. So, there's something going on with Tennessee.
I kind of became reclusive. I was reclusive for a while. So then I made friends with a 90-year-old, and now I'm ready to go out there.
All right.
And meet them all. And I've been meeting them. They've been coming up to me. The guys have been coming up to me and everything. I'm a little shy, though, but I'm going to get over that.
And look, the more you delve into your own journey and you allow that love to manifest through you, you've got good energy. You got really good energy. I don't think you completely understand everything you can potentially bring to the table in a relationship. And I think that's why you're maybe a little reclusive and I think you're also very empathic and you pick up on other people's energy very significantly. And you're not. Well, see, the thing about it, though, you need to start working with that energy and learning the patterns of the energy. You need to start learning about your chakra system, your auric field, because that will empower you. Because I feel like so what I'm getting, so Grandma keeps on talking about, I feel like your energy was a little chaotic, and I don't know if this is you dealing with, a little bit of depression or a little bit of, kind of just being, I feel like that's what she's showing me. Like, she wants to talk about that a little bit. And she wants to talk about, this kind of inner journey and understanding your own energy, because she's talking about you absorbing too much of the negative energy around you. So I don't know if you're going through, I don't know if there's been really hard relationships or really hard energy cycles, work cycles. And that's what I feel like she's showing me. There's been some really hard cycles for you where there's been people that have taken advantage. And there's been some kind of self-serving interests around you, and that's pulled a lot of your energy, and it's made you very protected and very guarded. So what I'm going to suggest for you, and I just know, so before I close out this whole reading and I hand it over to Mary Amy, and we still got a little bit of information, but I just want to let you know your loved ones around you are guiding you. And Mom is so is there a heart-shaped pillow or pin, did Mom sew or do needlework? I feel like I'm seeing a little pin cushion.
She did sew,
Do you have her pin cushion or something she made, a little heart thing?
Like a pillow I have of hers.
Yeah, that's what she's showing me.
Yeah.
Cool. Oh, so check this out. So understand, so if you don't think you're connecting to Mom, you don't think you're feeling her energy, there's something called psychometry, where our loved ones, if they have a piece of clothing or jewelry or something they used a lot, like that pin cushion, or, I even find it with some people that cooked a lot, baked, and they have a certain pot or pan. A lot of times their energy will be imprinted on that. So I feel like around that pin cushion, you can feel your mom's energy. So what I would say is if there's days where you're feeling like your energy is a little chaotic or you're feeling a little depressed or you're a little down, that pin cushion, sit with it and just envision the love and light and the guidance of your highest and best through your collective. And I feel like you're going to feel that energy through Mom's pillow, through that pillow. And it's very positive energy around that. And I think it'll shift your, whatever the energetic field that you're dealing with at that current time. I feel like that pillow will help you shift energy. So just know she's showing me that. I didn't know anything about Mom giving you that pillow and the pin cushion and her sewing. So that's very big. And I feel like she's also talking about you need to release. So you're very caught up. You're very caught up in your own mind, and you need to release that. So you need something.
I have to be.
Yeah. Well, You have to be, but maybe you have to be only for a period of time, and then you can kind of shut that off a little bit, and you can allow that to let go so you can find some peace. And I would say allow your creativity to flow through. So whether you can sew or knit or paint or, draw, like anything it is that will take your mind away from the processes and procedures of analyzing everything, because that's what's going on. That's what's going me. You're like over analyzing everything. You need something to bring balance and to help release that. So what I'm going to say, I want to talk a little bit about relationships and moving forward with relationships, but I think before we discuss that, I think you need to just really dig deep and try to find some balance in your own energy field, because what I'm going to say right now is I don't think you're going to draw in, you're going to manifest and attract the right people to you with your energy being out of alignment. So I think you're going to basically manifest self-serving or people that don't have your interest or someone looking to use. Once your energy is balanced and your energy is where it needs to be internally, that's going to protrude, and that's going to release externally, and that's going to help your auric field basically protect you in a sense from the low vibration, self-serving relationships that could potentially infiltrate that energy field now. So it's going to be very important for you to do this inner work.
Brilliant. Yeah.
But and look at, like, your loved ones are around you. I can tell you Grandma, I can tell you Robert, Dad's around you. I can tell you Mom's around you. I could definitely tell you the younger male energy, that passed from that medical, that chemical. So they're all around. They want your highest and best. They want you to know that, you're surrounded by love. You're surrounded by that overwhelming white light and guidance from your collective, but you need to allow it in. And that's what they're showing me. Like, you're not slowing down, and you're not stepping out of your own head for a long enough period of time for them to communicate and for them to imprint their information and their highest and best to try to help guide you. So they may start coming to you in dreams, and I think that may be the only point in time right now where your mind's kind of in a non-analytical state. So I think it's very important, if things start coming to you in dreams, that you have a little journal, you write it down and document what's going on, because I believe that's how they're going to, if they're not already doing that, then they're showing me they're going to start doing that with you. So let me, Mary Amy, what are you feeling?
Hi, Donna.
Hi.
First of all, I'm sorry that you said that you were crying earlier in your car. That's not fun, and obviously you're suffering. So what I received is, and right away I saw a flock of birds, and a flock of birds were scattered all around you, which is a symbol that something that you hope for is about to come, new beginnings. I also heard that about best friends, and you and what I sensed is, if you are interested in a relationship, you have to make the energy around you. You have to make sure that it's clear around you. What I'm referring to is sometimes, and this is just like a suggestion, sometimes we might have male energy around us, and then we're kind of blocking new male energy. So just be aware of that. When you make friends, that if you have male friends around you, then they're going to people sense energy. They're going to sense masculine energy, like, oh, there's enough around her already. So just be aware of that. I saw you driving your car alone down the highway, and I want you to visualize yourself, for whatever reason, this is what I received, to visualize yourself driving down the highway, not alone anymore. Someone's in the car with you. I heard that you're taking a trip, and I saw a seatbelt, which is a protection from your worries. I got a lot today. I also saw the color purple, and that represents good fortune and success coming and spiritual wisdom. I sense that you are a very wide-eyed person in perspective, and it's open for you. You have right now a moment in your life where there is room, like there is space for this person that you're speaking about. And that's what I received about you tonight, Donna. And I'm wishing you well, and I want good things. I'm so glad that you called in tonight, and
Me too.
I hope that you continue to listen to us. And we want to hear,
yes, I will.
forward, good things from you, whatever happens, and blessings.
Absolutely.
And just, really how we bring things into our life is about shifting our energy. It's about a new belief system, and that is, yes, I can do it, or yes, it's within me, or I can create this world that I want. And you can. You can create it, and you are going to have someone driving down the road with you, and it's going to be someone that you choose, and that's it. I want good things for you.
It might be a trip to Tennessee. It might
awesome.
be a trip to Tennessee.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me that we sail our own boat through life, right?
Yeah,
absolutely. We do.
And we can.
I'm sorry.
Huh?
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, that's all right. No,
we do sail our own boat, and that's a beautiful analogy. And I think that's an analogy you should embrace, because when you start sailing your own ship, you're steering it in the direction you want. You're creating your ripple through the waves, and that's your path. And I would just also say, since Tennessee did come through, just be aware of that connection to the person that came to mind immediately when we said Tennessee, and just be aware that there could be some significance around that state, or traveling there, or going there for a vacation, or a release, a getaway. So just be aware of the positive energy that I saw around that Tennessee connection. But yeah, Donna, just embrace this inward journey. Find your own self in its best possible light, and once you do that, you're going to manifest the partner for you. That would absolutely be my recommendation. You're in this energy cycle. This energy cycle is just beginning, and this is the perfect time for you to release any old wounds, release any non-beneficial things that are around you. Close that and open yourself to this beautiful new beginning, because that's what I think it is for you. I think it's a beautiful new beginning. You just need to take a step back and embrace it. Embrace it into it. But Donna, thank you so much for calling in.
Thank
really
you so much,
it.
Donna. And be well. I hope you follow follow us on blogtalkradio.com/psychics, and also our Facebook page. And have a good evening. Have a great weekend, and be well.
Thank you.
Thank you, Donna.
Thank you so much.
Okay, bye. Okay. All right. So we have Robin coming on in like 7 minutes. So I just want to cover the topic consciousness, because it's related to Robin. And I'm going to say right now, I'm going to just present her, and then we'll speak quickly about it, and then we'll bring her on because she's been hanging. So Robin Jelinek, if I'm pronouncing this right, channels a group of spirits collectively known as Athena in Truth, as well as another spirit outside that group, Shiva. The Athena in Truth group she channels is dedicated to assisting people in living their best lives. Additionally, the spirit Shiva specializes in helping those who are well along their spiritual journey and seeking higher dimensional wisdom and Kundalini activation. Her website is athenaintruth.com. She has a book on Amazon, Choose Your Universe and Experience in Freedom. You can find her on Facebook, Athena in Truth, and Instagram, Athena in Truth. So, consciousness. What exactly is that? Well, whether or not we realize it, we are conscious. But if you want to say in regard to spiritual, being aware of being, the realizing of internal and external existence, consciousness is a physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual state of body, mind, and spirit. Spiritual consciousness essentially derives from contact with divine love, wisdom, peace, unity, and freedom from fear. And I quote, "Nothing material in this world is lasting. It is transitory." Spiritual consciousness is an experience of realizing the light within the person and uniting the soul. From her website, athenaintruth.com, she says group consciousness channeling is the ability to speak to your higher consciousness, receiving messages from yourself delivered by the group. The primary focus, free resistance of beliefs, rules, and judgment. Would you like to add anything, Michael?
Consciousness has been spoken about and thought about for a long, long period of time. And I think our current culture and our current society got away from it for a period of time, and now we're getting back to it. But if you go back even into like the 1600s, yeah, and just through much of our old history, it was very big, very big tradition. You go back to Aristotle and looking at the mind's awareness and that mental entity, they would say, that exists is consciousness. So it's been spoken about. It's been something that people have been aware of and attuned to for a long period of time. And what I would say is anyone that's going on the self journey, anyone that just doesn't want to go through life unawakened, that wants to, people that really want to understand things, really want to go deep, and really want to make the best possible circumstances out of this life, you need to understand your consciousness. You need to understand that awareness, and you need to understand how that internal and the external consciousness, what we're going to call the collective, affects us and those energy systems around it. So yeah, it's something that's been talked about for a long period of time. It's something that I think society got away from, and people kind of got numbed to this type of thing, other than psychologists. And, you had a certain small niche that would stay attuned to it, study it, and bring the awareness into certain small fields. But as a society, we kind of lost that connection. I think now we're getting back. We're awakening. We're awakening to the thought process, the awareness of the internal and the external existence of consciousness. So, yeah, that's pretty much what it is.
Okay.
No, it's just,
I never know how long I never know what you're going to say. I don't know if it's...
well, I know I know we only have a couple of minutes for Robin, and I'm very excited to bring her on. So I didn't want to ramble on, but consciousness has been something. I don't want to hold her
too long. She's been so patient with us.
Okay, so I'll put a little tiny piece of information in there. So if we look at the word conscious, which is very interesting, derived from consciousness derived from the Latin word consist, they say. It's together and to know. So knowing with, they say. So having joint or common knowledge with another. So it's interesting. So this has been derived and around for a long time. And the earliest recorded use of it is the 1600s. And if we look at bringing the word together and to know, that is the basis of consciousness.
And what I've realized is that the more that we actually tune inward to our heart, to our clairsenses, to our self and our spirit, we become more conscious. And I become more aware. And like I spoke about early on tonight, these dreams I know are related to my consciousness and how I've awakened. And I know that I spoke to Robin back February 2023, and I refreshed my memory by watching the interview, and I was interviewed on her channel, Athena in Truth, and she spoke about how she had a Kundalini awakening and a Kundalini activation. Maybe she'll share that. I don't know if we're going to get a chance to have her channel. I don't know her plans. It's kind of up to her. So I'd like to bring her on. Her name is Robin Jelinek, and she channels a group of spirits collectively known as Athena in Truth. You can reach out to her. She does do sessions. It's athenaintruth.com. She has a book on Amazon, Choose Your Universe and Experience in Freedom. You can find her on Facebook, Athena in Truth, and Instagram, Athena in Truth. She's also on Twitter. I've tagged her on there a few times. So here we go. I'm going to bring her on. Robin, you there? It's Mary and Michael.
Yes, I'm there. Hello to you.
Hi.
Hello, Robin. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you.
Thank you so much for being with us. We are very excited. We are very excited to bring you on and hear your story and let our listeners experience what you do. So is there something initially you'd like to share with us about your background, about what's going on currently with you, any current events, I know you have a new book, so I don't know if
Yeah, that's been out for a little while. I'm presently creating another website. It's called Athena Universe, where it's going to be more of a platform that is, people can actually email in questions. Sometimes it's getting lengthy to wait for a session if people really have some things that are going on in their life that they need a little assistance on. So my son is assisting me in setting up another platform where I'll actually take in questions by email. There's some memberships on there that are different from my regular website. That will be called Athena Universe. That's just launching. Then in September, I will be traveling to Sedona to attend the Transcendence Soul Retreat there. First time I've done actually a live event in front of people, so I'll be doing that. And that's pretty much it. I do private sessions. I have courses that are both downloaded and ones that we do live. We do groups of 20 people on a monthly basis that we really dive into their energy centers and find out what it is that they're holding within themselves that might be preventing them from achieving a Kundalini activation or the flow of that energy through them. So that's something that we do monthly. And that kind of wraps up where I'm at right now.
No, excellent.
You are busy, and it's all very positive. So positive. Would you share with us some of your story, if you like, something about how you awakened, your Kundalini awakening, and where you came from?
I've done that quite a bit on other podcasts, so I hope it's not getting too repetitive for people. But so I won't go into a lot of the details about it. Pretty much was on a spiritual journey my entire life from my early 20s. Just really loved it. Loved reading material in any spiritual arena. I found it addictive to me. And then I would say about the age of 45, my children moved on from home. They went to college, and we were still running our business at the time in northern Wisconsin. And I kind of expanded just from reading and those types of study. I kind of expanded into a little bit of practices. I did some breathing into my chakras, and I was very drawn to that. Knowing more about them, I read a lot of books about chakras, and I really started to believe that they held the keys to spiritual awakening, because that is how we send and receive to the universe. What it is that we hold within those energy centers is actually directly connected to the divinity part of ourselves, which is using that data or that emotion to create the preference, what it is that you prefer by what you felt. So throughout this process, I have learned that it isn't so much a positive or negative, because as the divinity part of you receives information from you through your energy centers in the way that you feel, everything that you send to it is going to make something lovely out of it. So it's never a time that you've done anything wrong or that there's something you need to do over or regret. Everything is being lifted by the divine because of the high vibratory level of which it is a part of. And that's really the agreement that you have. You agreed with the human aspect to come down here and experience its experience with free will, that it would get to choose how it felt about everything that it was going through. And then through those energy centers, through that connection, that those signals would then go out to the divinity part, and it would make a creation that was of a higher level or something that you preferred if you were experiencing something you didn't prefer. And then those things would come to you automatically, provided that you had felt things and released them from the centers. There would be a natural flow of experiences that would come right to you that would be very satisfying. The problem with a human is that sometimes they hang on to things and they start to become the tool. We call the human a tool, or the one that is angry, the one that is jealous, the one that is controlling. And so they start this condemning and judging of themselves, which doesn't really match the source. What is meant to happen is that you would feel things and you would surrender to what you have felt with no judgment or condemnation against yourself. And this is really what self-love is, and it's what makes you a match to the divine. So a long story short, I didn't really give you the whole Kundalini activation thing, but I think what I did give you is an understanding that you don't need to be different than you are. You don't need to be better than you are, and you certainly don't need to regret anything that you've done, because there's no one standing in judgment of you. There's just you living your life in the way that you feel it. And if you can love yourself in that, if you can come to the point or place where you understand and know yourself and your experience and why it is you felt the things that you felt, that is all that it takes to connect to that divinity part of you, and that natural flow and that connection that everybody talks about that they're looking for, that they think that they have to do something different or be something different, just isn't true. And I think that's really what the group that I channel came here to let people collectively know, that you're not doing it wrong. You don't need to do it over. There's a perfect system in place. You feel, you release, and I will love you unconditionally. And that's actually what self-love is.
It's very beautiful. So would you say the moment where you really felt that shift was when you started doing the breath work and really incorporating that into understanding and utilizing the chakra system? Is that correct? Or
Well, I would say that I was seeking something. I mean, what does everybody do in their life? Whether you want to be a doctor or a radio broadcaster or nurse, whatever it is, you have a desire to do something, and then you go in the direction of it. And, a lot of times people think spirituality is different. That's kind of become a fable, really. It's not really true. You have a desire, and in the way that you want to experience your spirituality or your awakening to it, again, is just another experience that you're creating as a human. And so I would say that I very much was wanting to create the experience where I activated my Kundalini. So I knew that breathing into my energy centers and taking a look at what I might be holding in there and releasing it could be a good way for me to do that. And in fact, it was. It worked for me. Would that work for everyone? Well, I can't swear to it, but it worked for me, and it does work for a lot of people. Basically, you are connected and you are meant to be sending and receiving information. When those energy centers get clogged up, they're much the same as you eating too much food and never eliminating. That's not going to work very well. And holding emotion in the body doesn't work well either. It really prevents the divinity flow coming through those energy centers when they get clogged up with a lower vibratory tone than which it vibrates at. And so, I did the breath work, and I did bring to myself an experience and what I would call a Kundalini awakening. With all the bells and whistles, I felt it, I heard it, and it got confirmed in me that this is true. These energy centers are real. When you hear them spinning, when you feel them get penetrated, you never go back to doubting again. You never have the feeling that someone's going to talk you out of, that there is something bigger than you, there is something outside of you that you just experienced personally, and there's no denying that. So it was a really changing and confirming moment for me to have that experience with all of the bodily sensations and the noises and the things that went on. And I would say afterwards, there was a lot of emotional upheaval because I didn't really know what came with Kundalini energy. When I really started studying it and learning more about it was after I had the awakening. Prior to having that, I had no idea that energy was actually going to come in and blow through everything that I was holding in my energy centers and accelerate anything in negativity so that it could get it out of there. That's what that energy actually does. So some people go about this process and they don't really realize what they're getting into. It's very important that you gently look at and know yourself in what it is you've been experiencing. What are you seeing in mirrors in your life? What kind of repeat incidences are coming over and over in the way that they make you feel? And then looking at those, and we say love them out of yourself. And what that really means is to understand why you've chosen to feel the way that you have and not condemn yourself and judge yourself, which many are doing it. That's what actually causes the problem. And then as you work through your things that you're holding, you very gradually could get a rise where you don't have to go into the dark night of the soul. You don't have to have the great upheaval. I went through all those things, but looking back on it, you never get an experience that you don't need. So if you're one that goes through that, you're probably going to be teaching it like I am. There's probably going to be some reason for it, why you had to experience it the way that you did. I experienced every angle of that energy. I had a partial rise where it veered off to the side. It didn't make it all the way up. I went through a couple of years of hell, not feeling very good in my experience, getting a lot of repeat incidences, not feeling like I loved myself, very judging and condemning of myself, thinking I wasn't doing things right. I wasn't moving along the path quick enough. I was doing things that I thought that I wasn't going to do. I wanted to be better than that. So a lot of judgment and condemnation, which only lengthens the journey, only lengthens the suffering. And I didn't know all that at the time. Now and then a few years later, I had the energy come down through the top of the head, kind of straighten things out, felt it go through the energy centers that were blocked. And then once that occurred, a very balancing started to happen in the system, and that dark night of the soul actually started to lift off. This has been a 25-year journey for me with that energy, and I think some people think that once you get the bells and whistles of an awakening that it is over, but it is not. That's just the beginning of it. That's just the start of it. That energy has to work itself through every single part of your being, ridding you of anything that you're holding within yourself, in your lineage, in past lives. All of that emotive value is going to be ripped out of you, and that energy doesn't really care about you personally. It's got a job to do, and it does it.
Yeah, it's a learning process for us and our soul, right? It's a magnificent journey.
It's actually the soul aspect of yourself deciding by your invitation to reside within you alongside of the human. What happens to a lot of people is they give up their human experience and they want to just sit in what feels like a very high ecstatic state. That's what happens when the energy reaches the crown. You could sit there all day and never go out into life because it feels like a beautiful place to be, but that's not really why you came here.
Exactly.
You came here to unify that energy and to actually express as the divine, as the human that you are.
Yep, find that balance. Find that balance and release that love. Absolutely. That's a great story. Now, what did you experience early on though as a child? Did you have any experiences that you didn't understand or connecting to to spirit, or were you having like psychic phenomena, or is this something that really started occurring later in life, or did you kind of subdue it and push it down, or tell me a little bit about like your early childhood, early experiences?
Yeah, I would say that throughout my entire life, I didn't really understand it, and I certainly didn't like it. Had very heightened empathy, or always feeling others' pain or whatever it was that they were feeling. But of course, as a child, you don't really understand it, so you move to try to making people feel better. That's what you do. You just want to serve everybody, give them what they want, because as long as they're feeling good, you can feel good. And that's really one of the classic signs of an empathetic person. So I really suffered with that for a long time. That was a very difficult thing for me to go through. It wasn't really until the last maybe 7 to 10 years where I started to understand how that energy could work to your benefit rather than feeling it as a detriment, because every time I would go out somewhere, I would think, why am I feeling this way? Why am I feeling that way? And feeling like I was misunderstanding myself, where in fact I was just picking up energy from other people. Now that I am a little bit further into this, I understand that that often is psychic phenomena that goes with a channel, because the group that comes in when they're wanting to do their work like to use that ability to feel others when they're moving with them.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, when you started connecting to your collective, I'm just going to call them your collective right now, but did you have certain small instances that would happen, or they would come, or was it immediately boom, they were there and their connection happened, or what led you up to that collective unity?
Yeah, well, I would say for probably a number of years, I had a knowing, something that would be said over and over in my head again, that you're going to channel. I never told anybody. I felt kind of funny about it. I thought, well, what if that doesn't happen? I'm not going to go around telling people I'm going to channel and then have it not come into form. But I had a knowing. I would say that I knew that I was going to do it. And then, it just seemed like things kind of gradually started to unfold. I would get a feeling that maybe I would do some sit time. I'm not a big meditator, and I'm not one that really thinks everybody has to do the same thing. Let's just use that term. If you love it, I say do it. If you don't love it, there's no point in doing it. And a lot of people that are meditating don't love it, and they're forcing themselves into it because they think that's the only way that they can connect, and I just don't really buy into that perception. But I think what happened was things started to happen like my mouth would feel as though someone had actually hooked their finger in it and just pulled it to the side, but I wouldn't be doing it. My mouth would pull in all different directions. I would have lots of eye leaking out of the corner of my eyes, not crying. It would be on the outside corners of the eyes, get very wet. Even when I channel, sometimes that will happen. So I think it has something to do with that presence. There was lots of involuntary mudras that started, something I had never seen or done. They were very detailed, and they would be the same with each hand on each side of the body, repeating different movements over my own body. And then it wasn't until that went on for a while, and then lots of shoulder moving, body moving. Whenever I'd think about it, it would kind of pick up in intensity. And it actually wasn't until I went out of town with my son, and I told him I've had some really strange things happening. My eyes leaking and my mouth being pulled, and excessive yawning. That was another one, like just where your mouth stays open for 5 minutes yawning. It was just the weirdest thing. And so there were all these little things that were going on. And as soon as I started talking about it, the shoulders started moving and my body started to twitch and move in different directions on my face. And of course, my son recognized it, and he said, well, if something's in there, why don't you come out and talk? And then in fact, they did. Once the invitation was made, they came right forward and talked. It wasn't easy in the beginning. It was very arduous. I would say there was a lot of body heat, a lot of sweating, a lot of voice box feeling uncomfortable in my neck and throat. But it didn't take long. I would say over the period of the next 2 months, a lot of that really evened out. The first 2 months were rough because I didn't know how it worked. I just knew that they were talking all the time, and I felt like my own life had been robbed from me, and I almost had the feeling of, I wish I would never have gone down this path. This is not how I want my life to be. But actually, it didn't take too long, and then they communicated through me, through thoughts and feelings, that it is by invitation is by thinking about them. So as long as I don't think about them, they don't come forward. But if I start wondering, I wonder what they would think, or I pose a question to myself, then of course they come forward to answer. But that's always something I can control. It's not like I'm going to be somewhere and all of a sudden I'm going to go into the channeling state and not be able to function at a gathering. That doesn't happen.
It's like a volume now, right? Turn it down, turn it up.
Yeah.
So,
no,
Robin,
that's great.
You have so much knowledge and wisdom yourself. Have your feelings shifted from becoming a channeler? And are you receiving the knowledge from them, or is this all separate? Because I know that you said sometimes when you go, or if I don't know if it's every time, you go into the channeling and then you don't really remember the session after. Is this just all coming? I mean, are you getting some of it? Because you, on your own, without their wisdom, you have so much.
Yeah. Well, first and foremost, I want to say that I'm no more wise than you or Michael or anyone else in the world. And actually what I've done is in raising my Kundalini and having it reach the crown, I get access to the divinity part of myself. And everyone has that. So as I speak as Robin now, I get the same flow or the ability to speak in the way that the group does. I've been told from the beginning that it would get to the point where it would be difficult to be able to tell the difference between me and them. However, I can always feel that. But I can tell you that the way that the communication starts to flow now is very likened to them. It has that same type of perfection or ability to just let words come out without really having to think about it very much. But it isn't really Robin. It is a connective Robin. Let's just use that term. And everyone has that ability, so I would never want to set myself apart or make the claim that I have a lot of wisdom. Of course, I have some book wisdom, and I would say a lot of other people do. That's nothing special. I read many, many books on psychic development, on, all of the books you can imagine, hundreds. I just gobbled up and went through in my years between maybe 20 and 45 years old. So I just loved all that. But what really is available to people in this awakening of themselves or this connection to the divine part of themselves is you open up your field to divine flow, of which wisdom and knowledge is a part of. We go to books for it, and we are actually just picking up breadcrumbs to open up within ourselves what is already there or what we already know. That's actually what's happening. And so, now I'm to a point where I don't really go to many books anymore. I don't do a lot of study and reading because I can just pose a question to myself and the book gets opened. But it isn't that I'm special or any better than anyone else. It's that I have those energy centers are open. I have an open field of communication, and therefore it just comes flowing right in. But every single human body is built the same way. Everybody has that opportunity. I would tell you that I spend a good portion of my time when I'm with people just trying to get them to believe that. That's the most difficult part. And if I can offer that, at least, if I can get them to a point where they can accept their own divinity and what they are and what they're capable of, then the rest is just automatic flow.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the most important things we do here and have guests like yourself on is to help other people understand we all have that divine connection. We all have these abilities. It's just a matter of taking that journey, and awakening them. So, yeah, really appreciate your insight on that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, even for me, the channeling experience itself doesn't serve me very well at all because my consciousness has to be removed in order for me to transmit or to receive information. And even if I go outside and tell my husband, ask them something for me, then I start listening, and then my consciousness is back in again, and I can't get the answer that I want. But what I do have is some very important people in my life that I rely on that are also very connected, my sister being one of them. And if I have something that's, bothersome to me or that's weighing on me, I'll often run it by her, and she's perfectly capable of tapping in and giving me what I need in any given situation or time.
Yeah, they're the relationships we all need. We all need someone like that in our life. Very integral. It's always good, especially when you're doing this work. It's always good to have someone else that's familiar with this energy and doing the work, that we can kind of bounce it off of, get that other perspective.
Yeah.
Or just
I'm
remind us.
You are special. You are special. You are special, and that's it. And that's what I'm saying, and I'm sticking to it, Robin.
So I have a question, though, about the name, the Athena in Truth. Did that just come to you? Did they give you that? Where did that come from?
Yeah, they gave me that name. Where it actually came from is one of the things I struggled with in my life was a lack of confidence. Really no reason for it. I mean, I think I was pretty proficient at a lot of things and a good athlete, but confidence, I would struggle with that. If anyone seemed to come out on the tennis court that was carrying a little bit more of a I'm going to beat you energy, I would just feel myself buckle underneath that kind of thing. And so this particular day, when I felt the first breath of Athena, where I knew that I had come into contact with something, I felt my head go back, and a breath kind of came into my body that I myself didn't do. And there was a knowing or speaking in my head that said, how do you like the way it feels to be a woman in her confidence? And Athena is representative of a female form, or one that has lived, that was both a woman, but also very confident, so you could have the capacity to be as powerful as a man, but as feeling or tender as a woman could be. And so that was really representative of that. I'm told that it's a stream of consciousness of which like souls belong to or have access to. It's one of the reasons that we're in the soul groups that we are in. We kind of resonate together in the ways that we like and don't like. But in some sense, in that moment, in what I was calling for, I became a match to that, and therefore that energy flowed through me, or that stream of consciousness gained access to me.
Well, that's pretty awesome. The funny thing is, being a musician, when Mary Amy started talking about you and I saw that name, I was like, wow, that would be such an awesome name for a band. But it's like your collective group, your band. But that is really, I like it. Like, it just really resonated with me. And as soon as I read that Athena in Truth, I just felt this positive, uplifting energy just from reading that name. And it was really cool.
In some sense, it's begun to resonate with me even more because what is truth, really? Many times I've been asked to give a description of what love is. And it's recently when they have come to me and said, love is truth. That's what it is, and it's why they have chosen that name to communicate under. I've had some experiences more recently where telepathy has been an expanded sense, or something that has been happening to me more and more. When I used to think about telepathy becoming part of our plane of existence, it was kind of bothersome. I was kind of worried about it. I think, maybe I don't need to know everything that people are thinking about me or what their mind is on when I'm with them, especially my husband or anyone else. And so I thought this is going to be kind of problematic. But oddly enough, the telepathy has entered a lot of my exchanges with people. And what I didn't understand at the time, what I do understand now, is that ability does not lie in the level of consciousness of third dimension. It's a higher level of consciousness of which judgment, of which condemnation, of which negativity or negative emotions are not applicable. They're just not there. So it's been very great, really, and surprising to me that I can actually get information that might even be negative about me. I might even be in exchange with someone that doesn't like me. I might feel exactly and hear exactly what it is that they're thinking. But me as Robin doesn't have any judgment. I don't have any condemnation. I don't have any emotions. And I sit there stupefied thinking, well, if that would have really been me, I would have had something to think about. I would have had some way I would have reacted to that. But what I am finding is that this level of love, or the consciousness that telepathy is a part of, is where truth is allowed. It's where truth is received in love. It's not received in any type of rebellion or opposition that is not looked at that way. And this is the way that the universe communicates when they are not informed, you see.
Robin, would it be okay for me to ask a question to Athena in Truth?
Absolutely.
Okay. So my question is, Athena in Truth, how can we show the world the path to hope?
Any path that you're wanting to show the world is, we always say when someone says hope, we hope not, because that would signify that you are not sure, or you are hoping, you are longing, you are wondering. We don't want you to wonder or long or hope at all. We want you to know. We want you to decide what it is that you want, and then we want you to apply your focus in the direction that you want. This is how you do it. You are never going to get something that you want out of your experience if you hold yourself in a place of something that is not wanted in the way that you feel. We get into this with people all the time. It comes in diet. It comes in exercise. It comes in all kinds of ways. A human will say that this food is bad and this other food is good. What we want you to do is to keep your focus on what is good. Be the example of what it is that you are wanting to add to yourself and to the universe, and stop making comments about a cookie or a chocolate or something that you think that you have eaten that is bad. There's no time. There's never a time when you have yourself focused negatively on something and that you are productive in it. You're going to be in fear, aren't you? You're going to be in worry. You're going to zap the joy right out of your life. And people do the same thing with exercise. Instead of saying, I love to run, I love to get on my stair stepper, I like to go for a walk, all they talk about is the day that they missed. The unhealthy day that they had, and the unhealthy day that they ate something that they shouldn't have eaten. Our advice would be to you to always keep your focus on something that feels good to you, that you are proud of. Show your children really how it is to choose in their life in a way that enhances their experience. Don't send them out into the world in fear by telling them, don't eat this, it is bad for you. If you sit here, this is going to happen to you, all these types of things. They have a guidance system within them. Allow them to engage it and use it by showing them as you use your own.
Thank you. I have one more question. What does it look like where you exist? Our physical reality looks a certain way with concrete, to us, concrete material possessions. And what does it look like where you are?
Yeah, there's a difficult question for us to communicate to you, to imagine that you are formless, that you are not in form. So that it is not even something that we can depict to you. You are consciousness, but you are fully aware. Robin had an experience, she's shared it before, where she actually popped out of her body for a few minutes as she was asking the question over and over of herself, will I still know who I am when I pass on? Will that essence, that personality part of me, that spiritual part of me still exist? She popped out of her body. Yeah, the universe thought it was quite funny and said to her, in fact, do you know who you are? She felt exactly like Robin does in the body. However, she could not move the body. She could see the body lying on the bed. It was lifeless without that energy in it. Yeah, but she felt the same. She felt awareness. She felt consciousness. She felt a knowingness of herself, and it will be the same for you. It is the only way that we can describe it to you. You will have an awareness. You will have a knowingness. You will have full access to be able to create and communicate telepathically with anyone that you are wanting to, and them likewise with you, you see. That's the only way that we can describe to you where it is that we are, because we are nowhere. We are everywhere.
Can you... I'm asking one more question. I'm so enthralled with it. Can you telepathically communicate with other humans besides Robin?
Well, it is not something that we have tried to do, but we would tell you with our close family members that is kind of slipping into that type of communication, She can be about to tell them something she is thinking and feeling, and they will say they already know, they can tell what it is that she is feeling or thinking. So in her close relationships, we would say that is starting to be something that is revealing itself, but we have not necessarily tried to apply that outside of that arena.
Thank you. I appreciate you coming through.
So what I'd like to ask Athena, in truth, what do you see unfolding for humanity over the next, several years into this next decade? How do you see humanity existing? It seems like more people are awakening, but we are in some, chaotic disharmony on this earth. What do you see happening to help either bring us together, or what type of shifts will occur? What do you see for humanity over this upcoming cycle?
This is a question that we are asked a lot over and over again, and we have the ability to perceive energy in the present state or moment that it is in. And is what a lot of channelers are doing publicly right now is they're reading the present energy that is being emitted by humans, and then forecasting a future off of that. And then what actually happens is, what should happen is, if you are a human receiving that forecast, you should feel yourself in it, and then feel what is within you as you hear it? Do you become fearful? Do you become opposing? Do you become aligned to? Or what is it that you feel when someone gives you that type of a report? So what really happens is the same thing happens in mass consciousness that happens with a human. All of the negativity that is being received in the divinity mass as a whole is being lifted. So right alongside third density, there's another world that's being created at a higher vibratory level, if you will, than the one that you are presently seeing in form. So what needs to happen to actually get that to enter the plane is people have to adjust their perception to one that matches the new world. As they continue to create suffering, as they continue to think that the bad things are coming, the wars are terrible, that people are racist, as they continue their focus in those ways, they are still aligned to the old way of creating, and they are still adding to that new world that is being built, but it is not entering yet the plane. Some of what is going on right now, as you have asked about spiritual awakening, is the vibration of all those that are awakening has an effect on or rattles the cages, let's use that term, of those that aren't even doing the work or not even spiritually interested right now. So nobody's getting left behind. Everybody is going to be stimulated eventually. So that natural rise in consciousness, or those that are awakening themselves, is the very thing that is awakening others as they are in their present, as they are going through their days. They don't have to be doing it with their mouth. They can just be walking about and actually creating a vibration that is stimulating the energy centers of those that they are coming across. Let's use that term. And so little by little, that infusion of energy or that vibration is starting to reach out into the universe. And then that is the connecting point, or the thing that will eventually bring that new world into fruition. So it is not to worry, and we use this analogy a couple of times. If you were to describe COVID in its intensity and immense size that it turned into and what people actually went through during that period of time, there would have been totally mass chaos. People would have been out of their minds in fear. But what happened was it unfolded very gradually. People kind of adjusted to it. We're not saying it was pleasant, but there was this gradual, natural acceptance and adjusting to what was presented in form that they had to learn to live with and get through. And we would tell you that what is going on in your planet is no different than that there is no horrific moment coming where you're going to be in this absolutely miserable, terrible state that you cannot navigate. It's going to be natural. Everything is natural. You didn't become a man overnight, did you? And Mary didn't become a woman overnight. There's always this lag time, or this very natural unfolding that occurs in creation. And we would tell you that everything that is coming is going to be making a better world, a better place for those of you that are here, and that you are not to worry, you are not to become obsessed with or focused on some of the negativities that are being reported at the time. Hold your focus in the direction of what you want to see, what you want to feel. Don't condemn yourself if you are afraid. Just notice, I'm afraid. This is coming to me. This is why I'm getting the broadcast that I am getting. It is to show me my own fear. It's not that the broadcast is true. It's not that any story in your life is true. Just because you are interacting with someone and they make you angry, it doesn't mean that they're the cause of the anger. It means you have anger within you. And it is the same when you get a report on negativity in your society and you move to fear about it. You are simply being notified about the fear that you hold within yourself, and it has nothing to do of whether the broadcast that they are giving you is true or not, you see.
Some good stuff right there. Woo. Yeah.
I'm
Mary,
speechless.
Yeah, do you have another question? Because that was good. I'm still bouncing around in my head.
I'm inviting Robin back, please.
Yeah, I'm back.
Hi. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
This is like, I'm literally tongue-tied, speechless. Because I don't know. It's almost like the heavens opened up to me, where I literally felt. And you say the name is Athena in truth. It's the truth. It's like so much resonated with me. I can't even tell you, and I'm so appreciative that you exist and you're doing this and you're following your journey and you've accepted it, because that's so much of it. Can you tell us about your book? Because I'm going to order that. Can you tell me about the Choose Your Universe Experience in Freedom, please?
Yeah. And, again, I didn't write the book. That book just came through me. I didn't have any idea that I was even capable of doing automatic writing. Years ago, I thought about writing a book. I sat down. I was terrible at it. Didn't go well at all. I didn't know why I was even trying to do it. And then the group announced to me that they would like to write a book. And I thought, well, you're going to have to do it, because I'm not a writer and I don't claim to be. And certainly I just sit down and now presently a lot of, I know you brought up the Shiva energy, and that is a separate channel that I think eventually I will be channeling it more verbally, but my primary communication with that energy is through writing. It is the best way that I do it. Some of my best work comes out in transmissions and in book writing, so I need to really probably get back to that when I'm not so busy with private sessions and things like that. But what I've really learned is in this process is that that you just can really ask for the way that you want to feel, in the way that you want to do things. There's been several times when I've had things, perhaps in the beginning I would remember a session where someone had something really unpleasant happen to them in their experience, and it would affect my day. And I just made the statement to myself, that's not something that I like to feel or carry with me. I don't want to feel like a person that doesn't care, because I do, but I can't be thinking about that all day and then maybe not be at risk at bringing it to myself in the strong feelings that I'm holding over it. And then immediately there was a change or a shift in the way that the channeling happened, where sometimes it's quite embarrassing to me because I cannot even remember people who have repeat sessions with me. My memory gets wiped so clean after a session that I oftentimes can't even recall the face or the interaction that I've had with someone, even though it's been several times. So it seems as though whatever this is wants me to be happy, wants to satisfy me in the way that I want to feel while I'm doing it. So I can just really have a thought that I don't prefer to do something, and then right away another avenue or a way will come up that I am able to do it. Primarily a lot of the transmissions, those come in some of the memberships that I'm creating on this. My son Mike is creating that on the Athena Universe website, where people kind of get guided along the way on their journey. It's more of a coaching and mentorship program that I'm doing on there, where they'll get 2 to 3 of these very deep transmissions a week, and then also recordings come out. There's different levels of memberships that you can buy depending on how much interaction you want to have. So I'm going to be doing a lot more work, perhaps from my computer, not so much in live interactions. However, I've got a lot of those coming yet. I just went on the next soul level again, which really brings in an influx of sessions. When I do one of those, I can be very busy for 6 months after. But I think eventually the direction that I'm headed in is going to be one more of writing and more of courses and more of larger group interactions rather than so much of the one-on-one. So I'm trying to serve as much as I can doing the one-on-ones right now, but I can see in the future that will probably be falling off.
So I'm looking at this website that you're referring to, and I'm going to add it to this profile that we have on the page for tonight, the Athena Universe. And here are these articles, the Embracing the Power? Is that what this is?
Those are all channeled responses that come from the Shiva energy that I actually transmit by typewriter. So I just sit down. I'm sorry I veered off a little bit on the question you asked me about the book.
No, there's no sorry needed.
Yeah, and primarily, the book is really about understanding. It's just a lot of truth, a lot of clarity in how you create in your experience, a lot of lifting off of judgment and condemnation that maybe people have gathered onto themselves over the years. Just a greater understanding that, every human is really lovely. Every human is on a journey to enlightenment. Nobody's getting left behind. There are no bad humans, no matter what you see them do. They just get disconnected. They become so separated from the source that they are that they get lost for a little while. That's what happens. But it doesn't mean that they're going to be permanently lost or that they're not going to come back into the light. They are. And in fact, with this rise in consciousness that we're having, you're going to see more and more of that happening.
I love the message that you have about free, about basically taking off all the layers of junk that I think that we've been programmed. That's what I'm receiving about it, and I think that's a beautiful message, because then you're coming to the realization of exactly who you are, rather than what you were told to be or who you should be. It's more or less that you are free. Just like your book's Experience in Freedom. I love that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there are so many people that are living their lives in regret, that live with guilt, that live with shame, blame, all kinds of things. And that's really not how you were meant to feel. And there's no reason that you should feel that way. And I think that's really what I love about what I'm doing and the people that I'm doing it with, is that they very quickly move out of that perception that there's something wrong about themselves or that they have to make themselves be different than what they are in order to be worthy of connection. That just isn't true. You can accept yourself in the way that you felt in your experience and in your actions and in the things that you've done. What's going to happen is in self-love, in actually allowing yourself your mistakes and the way that you feel in your experience, you create through that awareness, through that observation of yourself, you open up to the divine part of yourself because the divinity part of you is conscious awareness. It is awake in truth. It knows that it knows it's creating in the way that it's feeling. And so it uses its unconditional love to flow towards the human when you offer it, when you say, come and watch me, come and love me and what it is that I have experienced. So when you invite that presence in to actually witness yourself as a human, you open yourself up to the flow of the divine, and then you get the changes. You get the ability to be the different person that you want to be. You get to be the expression that you really came here to be. Many times people are trying to do that by themselves as the human tool. That's not possible. The human is the one that feels its experience and releases what it feels to the universe, and the universe is the creator of things that come to you in form. So you can just really give it up when you're trying to effort in your experience. You're trying to make yourself different. You're going to end up backsliding. You're going to end up frustrated and pissed off and irritated with yourself because you're not capable of doing that. You're trying to do a job that you're not designed to do. The self-love thing allows the view of the human of itself, makes it a match to its source, and therefore the source comes in and makes the transformation that you're wanting. And that includes healing, and that includes manifestations or things that you want flowing to you. All of that has been made for you the moment that you had a feeling. That divinity part of you is sucked right onto you, connected to you. So the minute that it feels a negativity from you, it thinks, oh boy, I know by what she's sending right now, or he's sending what he wants because of that feeling. And it culminates that experience instantly. It's done. So there's no reason to go on and on asking over and over again, and there's certainly no reason to condemn the way you created it. It might have been in negativity, but the divine doesn't care about that. Someone came along and said that there's some horrible judging force standing outside of you that's waiting for you to pass over so that it can lecture you and shake its hand at you at what a terrible job you did. And that just isn't true. That's a bunch of dogma that people have been fed in their experience.
I'm so grateful that you joined us tonight, Robin, and Athena as well, Athena in Truth. And is there anything, before we go tonight, is there anything that you would like to share with our listeners about yourself, about anything that you want to give us before you go? Yeah. And tell us any information that you want to share.
Yeah, I guess I would just say in closing that, I'm just a regular person. I hope you get that from me tonight when we're talking. I'm not any different than you or anyone else. If I can do this, you can do it. Being a channel is not necessarily a gift or something that makes you more connective than anyone else. That's not what it means. It means that I understand how creation works, and that if I love myself in the way that I feel in my experience and allow myself free will to choose that feeling, the divinity part of me will have no judgment or condemnation of me, and it will align to me, and I will be connected to flow, and I will get exactly what it is that I'm calling out to the universe for. And that would include channeling. That would include whatever it is that you would find satisfying in your experience. As I said earlier, I do have my website, Athena in Truth, and I have another website, Athena Universe. There are lots of things to check out on there. All the information about me and what I do are there. So I think that would pretty much cover everything.
Thank you so much. Anything else, Michael, you'd like to add to this wonderful interview?
No, I would like to just thank Robin. You were fantastic. I appreciate all your insight and wisdom you brought to us and our listeners, and appreciate you bringing through and allowing Athena in Truth to expand our consciousness and our knowledge. That was fantastic. One thing I have to say, what I found very interesting is, as you were as you were turning your volume knob up to Athena in Truth, I felt that energy, and it was a beautiful thing. And literally, as you closed it down, I felt that energy subside. So it's a very, very beautiful energy, very powerful energy. I really appreciate what you did here tonight and what you're doing. Yep, you're definitely going to make a difference. Definitely make a positive difference in this world, and I really appreciate that.
Well, thank you so much, Michael. I appreciate you saying that.
I'm really glad that you joined us. Also, I wanted to recommend Robin has her YouTube videos, and you have a lot of videos and you have a lot of followers. What's the name of the YouTube channel?
It's Athena in Truth, and that would also be connected to through my website. That's all on there also as well.
Okay, fantastic.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us, and I wish you well. And I'm so glad I got to kind of talk to you again, because it was over a year ago. And say hi to your sister too, by the way.
I will.
Heidi.
I appreciate it so much, Amy. And we'd love to have you back on my YouTube again. So I'll have Heidi reach out to you if that's something that you guys would enjoy doing.
Yeah, love to.
Good luck on the live. Good luck on the in-person live event you're going to be doing. So just know when you have a couple more of those and you're ready to come out to the East Coast and do one with Mary, Amy, and myself, we'll have a spot for you.
All right. Sounds great. Thank you so much for having me. You have a wonderful evening.
Thank you so much.
Have a great night. Be
Thank
well.
You. Yep.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Wow, that was so intense. Oh my goodness. And I said, I didn't realize that we were going to have time for more callers. So anyone who wants to get a reading, call us. So what did you think, Michael? It blew me away. I was speechless. I didn't even know what to say. I was stumbling all over my words.
Yeah, it was really cool. And what I found most interesting is as she started channeling, I felt the energy shift. Like I could literally feel the energy. I was basking in that beautiful energy, but I also noticed a subtle shift in her voice and the way she would enunciate things and the way how they basically took over and were kind of navigating. She was still present, but subtle things that had changed, and that was really cool. That was a really, really cool experience on my end to feel the energy shift. So I like that. I think she has great energy. I think she's going to do a lot of positive things, and I would love to do a live event with her. I'd love to do like a dual link, where that's one cool thing with like mediums. If you get two really good mediums, two really good channelers together, it almost magnifies the other, and you can get some unbelievably fantastic information coming through in a different way than normal, because it's like a double link and it magnifies the energy. I'm going to have a couple of those events coming up, hopefully, going later into 24 and 25, and I'm going to team up with some really good mediums, and I think you and I could also team up and like literally do some of that double link stuff, because what I find very interesting is even your journey, Mary Amy, because the more we're doing this, the more you're tuning in and opening and getting crazy insights and guidance and the stuff we talk about after the show and the information coming through. So there's a shift happening, and it's cool. So our listeners out there, just so you guys know, I mean, we're all on this journey. We're all on this journey together. We're all learning. We're all expanding. We're all growing. And that's the beautiful thing about this is you never master all of it. That you're always learning. You're always expanding your awareness and your understanding of this energy work, of psychic abilities, of mediumship, of the spirit realm. It's an ongoing process. And as we allow that to unfold in our lives and we start to see how positively it can uplift us, you just go deeper and deeper, with it. And I'll give you a shout out, Mary Amy, because you're getting some really crazy information now, and you're bringing through, like, you got to start bringing a little bit more of that on the air. Like some of the stuff she's telling me that some of the information that's coming to her psychically and on a mediumship level, like she's getting some really, really good stuff. So that stuff's got to start coming through on me. We're gonna.
I think I'm accepting it more.
I think that's what it is. You're not blocking it out.
No, I'm not blocking it out.
No, and that's what happens to a lot of people, even mediums. Sometimes we've been doing this a long time. Still, we can kind of get full of ourselves and a little bit. It could screw us up.
Michael, you're popping in every other word. Michael, you're popping in every other word. It's pop every other. It's.
How down for popping now?
It's popping again. Yeah, I don't know. It's funny. Sometimes it's whatever you're saying. It's almost like preventing you from saying it. That's so weird. Now speak.
Now it's good? Can you hear
Now
me?
it's good right there, right there. I don't know maybe turn the volume down a little bit. What's happening? What's going on there? What's going on?
I was getting a little excited. I was feeling that energy influx that you were feeling and channeling all this cool information. One thing that comes to me about you, I feel like you could channel real cool, interesting stuff as you're opening to this, and as you're becoming more and more aware. I think a lot. I think it's in there. I think it's in there. I don't know if you.
I agree with you because I've heard, like, when she was saying when Robin was speaking about some of her experiences, I said, oh my gosh, that's so familiar to me. And I really shut a lot down. I have to tell you, it's happening to me. I literally, spirits were coming to me only right before I go to sleep. Now I'll close my eyes somewhere and they'll show up there. It's happened like all day long to me. That's happening to me. Some of the most incredible experiences, like, I don't know if I said earlier that I'm reading about Nikola Tesla, and then he visited me and I saw his feet, like the second time he's fully dressed. I'm like, what's happening now? Am I losing it? But what you're saying, I'm glad that you're giving me this support because I know something's shifting. It's in a good way, but maybe it might just be the universe collectively. She spoke about how we think, and when we think, we almost bring it forward to the world. The more of us that are thinking something, that's what a collective is. If we're all thinking
absolutely.
the same thing, then we all want to buy the same sneakers, or we want to talk about the same subject. It's the same with this. It's the same with spirituality. And it's the same with these topics in love and peace and forgiveness. And something's definitely going on. And I don't want to attribute it to me, strictly me. I think it's on the grand scale. All of us are going to be getting closer and closer to this. Okay, now, since we've been talking, Michael, we have a caller because we had a lot of callers. And then as we got speaking, I think that they thought we were ending the show. So I have a caller. Would you like me to bring on this caller and we can do a reading before we go tonight?
Yeah, let's bring on.
Okay, so let's hope it doesn't pop in and out. When we had Flat Earth Dave, if anyone wants to see that, it was popping in and out like it did with Flat Earth Dave. So I don't know what what kind of continuity that was to that.
You know what? I'm gonna lower the level. I'm excited, and I was talking right into the microphone.
Okay, well now it's calmed down. Now it's fine.
Now
but he does
okay.
that. Yeah, because that wasn't just us. I watched Flat Earth Dave's his videos. It on Instagram. It does that. He talks really fast, and that's part of it. Okay, so let's bring this caller on and see if we can get a read for them. Hi, who's calling?
Hello?
This is Michael and Mary. Hello.
Hey, Michael and Mary. This is Tim from New York. Thanks for taking my call.
Who is this? Who's calling?
This is Tim from New York.
Hi,
Tim from New York. Oh, you're in Mary Amy's territory. So what's up? What question do you have tonight?
Oh, that was an excellent guest you had on. I'm definitely going to look her up. I just was calling to see what Spirit had for me as I'm working on changing my frequency to bring some abundance and new things in. If you have any messages from Spirit, greatly appreciate it.
All right, so just give us your name slowly one time, Tim, and we'll kind of open up and connect to your energy field.
Sure, no problem. It's Timothy from New York.
All right, so we got Timothy. All right, do you want me to call you Timothy or Tim? Does it matter?
Nope, not at all.
All right. So I'm being ready to call you Timothy. I don't know why. I like the flow of the Timothy. I feel like there's older female energy around you that's calling you Timothy, not calling you Tim, and almost wanted to kind of correct me and say, that's Timothy, that's Tim. So I feel you're on Mom's side. Now, Mom's still here, correct?
Hello?
Are you there, Tim?
Oh, we lost him. Oh,
Did we lose Timothy? Timothy, give us a call back. So I'm going to just give Tim a little bit of insight and guidance.
Slow down again. Slow down again. And I have something that I got on him too. Slow down again. Because you're
am I
popping in and out. Yeah.
Woo. All right. You know, it's funny is I told you earlier I readjusted my microphone, so now I have to readjust it back.
Okay.
So with Timothy, female energy. Now this wasn't mom's energy, but this was old male energy on mom's side. This felt like aunt though. This didn't feel grandma. This felt like someone that was around grandma. And she's talking about music. So I think Timothy writes music or has something to do with music or production or lyrics, words, wording, something around that he has to embrace, has to kind of tune into. So there's something around the music aspect, but there's also significance with August, significance with the month of August. Unfortunately, we lost him, and I keep on wanting to call him Timothy. So Timothy, if you're out there listening, give us a call back. We'll reconnect, read for you. But I'll hand it off to Mary Amy and let me know what you got.
Sure. I did get information, and I will share it right now. And it was flowing. So, one second. Okay. So what I received about Tim, I didn't look this up, but I saw the color brown. So tonight, here's the second time I've received a color. So I received the color brown, Tim, if you're still listening to us. And it's related to security and protection. I also saw a bag of groceries of food. I don't know what that means. And then I saw footprints to a body of water, which the footprints represent your being supported by your ancestors. And then I saw ruddy cheeks, that you have ruddy cheeks. And I saw icicles. So this must have been something related to cold weather. And you are suppressing some sexual desire. And that's what I received about him, and then he was gone. So that was it.
All right. Well, unfortunately, we lost Tim in the mix. But you know, the interesting thing is, I don't know if it would be two psychics if we didn't have some kind of crazy electrical occurrence or.
I know.
It didn't happen on the caller's end.
It's and you know what's so interesting with this is listeners, anyone who's listened to us from the beginning, when we started out, I was having so much technology issues. I was disconnecting people, and now it's switched over to you, Michael. Sorry to say. Last week you called 50 times.
I'll tell you the crazy thing. Anyone that starts work with energy just understands working with energy, and you can affect electrics around you, lights, phones, TVs, whatever it is. You may get electrical anomalies. They may happen in the environment you're in. It's part of it. So be aware of. Now, I literally spent a couple hours.
It's something. Or what are you doing differently? Because it popped. It was popping again. I'm sorry for interrupting you. I just don't want.
Oh, no, that's good. I don't want to be popping. I don't want to be popping. Okay. Pepper. No. That's
okay, we have another caller if we want to pull in another caller.
Yeah, let's pull in another caller.
We got to figure out why you're popping. I don't know what's happening here. Pop. Yes,
am I still popping?
You know what it is? It sounds like not an echo. It's just your voice is popping out. It's either in between words. It stops and then it happens again. I don't know. You know what? We just have to keep moving. I'm just going to keep going. So I'm going to bring a caller on. Here's somebody else. Let's see who they are before we go tonight. Hello, this is Mary and Michael. Who's calling?
Hi, this is Samora. This is my first time calling.
Hi, Samora.
How are you
I
guys?
hope that you can hear us. I'm great. I'm so glad you called us tonight. Did you happen to listen to our interview tonight?
I didn't. I just got on at the last second here.
Oh, okay. Well, Michael's here, and you might hear a little popping. I don't know what you're hearing from there, but we're gonna keep going because we still have 15 minutes left of the show. And we want to know, do you have a question for us? And let's see if we receive any information.
I was gonna do something like personal, but I want to do something fun. I want to ask about my gifts.
About your gifts. Give us your name slowly and let us open to your energy.
Say your name slowly, he said. Samora.
Okay. It's Samora. Is that good?
Is my voice popping, Samora? Or can you hear
yeah,
clearly?
It's a little bit. Yeah, it's a little bit popping.
A little bit. All right, so I'm going to stay off microphone a little bit. If I sound like I'm a little far away, I'm backing up my microphone a little bit. Interesting. As we connect your energy field, Samora, I'm seeing something around design. There's so some type of artistic design that I don't necessarily think you're doing, but there's potential in your field. We can talk about gifts that I do believe there's some type of skill you have. Like I see you designing outfits, clothing. Is that something you do? Do you design costumes, or are you an artist?
No, not right now.
Is there art in your family? Are there artsy people that are create? But I see you doing this with your hands. You're creating something with your hands.
I mean, I used to draw and stuff. And I don't know, I just use my hands a lot.
Yeah, there's definitely something creative, like you could sculpt, mold, like there's definitely artistic stuff with hands and utilizing that energy. I feel like there's something with your ability to touch. The interesting thing, and I'm getting into something here, I feel the energy around you have healing energy in your hands. So I think you could do a lot if you started learning Reiki energy or different healing modalities, different things where you could channel that healing energy for others through your hands. Your hands are very powerful. I'm seeing that in your energy field. I'm very curious.
Now that you say that,
What is it?
I said, now that you say that, I had this dream where I was talking to somebody, and I was like, well, my hands used to heal, but now they're locked right now, or they don't work right now. And it was like a really weird dream. And I was like, my hands used to have power, and now they're locked or something. It was something like that.
Oh, wow. That's what I'm connecting to some untapped potential or untapped energy. Excuse me. And it definitely derives in your hands. It's definitely something transcending. So now I have to ask you the interesting thing. Being a medium, I have energy stepping in. So there's older male energy on that side. I don't believe this is your father, but your grandfather on your father's side. He's in spirit, correct?
My dad's dad?
Yes.
I never met him, but he seems to pop up a lot. Is he, like, really religious?
So let me ask you this, because I have an overwhelming sense of losing my breath. I'm having my breath taken away, and I'm coughing a little bit. So I feel like this person that's stepping through only has something around a trace throat, around, but I don't definitely with someone around dad's side of the family. Now, let me ask you this. Your father is still living, correct?
Is my dad still alive? No.
Yes, he's not. Okay, so then that's who I'm connecting to. Let me ask you this: Did he pass? Did you know him? Did you know? Because I feel like there's a little separation. I don't know if it wasn't in the household or wasn't, but there was a separation prior to him passing.
Yeah. We didn't have a relationship or anything.
Okay, let me ask you this. Do you know how he passes? There's something around his lungs, the oxygen being off, the trachea, throat.
I honestly don't know.
Okay.
How it happened? It was. I know it was like.
No, what's that?
I know it was like health related, but I don't know specifically what happened or why he passed.
Okay.
He was a bigger guy.
Giving me the information around hands, utilizing your hands, and healing energy can come through you. I do, but he's also talking about his mom, and his mom was a healer. Now, is there a connection overseas, or is there a connection to like an island connection in the family? Because he's bringing me an island. Old woman, grandma, came from the island. I don't know. I'm also seeing like I don't know if this is I don't know if it's being like African country or Nigeria. What am I seeing?
Nigeria.
Is
Nigerian.
That Nigeria? Okay, so that's what they're showing now. We have a good connection. That's what they're bringing back to. I think they just want to bring through some bits and pieces of evidence, authenticate that they're around you. I think you're connected and you're open. I just think you should start utilizing. You're talking about your hands being blocked off or the energy being blocked off. You need to start working with and utilize this internal, working with the chakra system, working with energy fields, and starting to understand it, because it could be very, very powerful for you. Just Father is around you. There's loves. I do believe he's telling you there's something that unfolded towards the end. I'm not sure, but he's sorry for it, because he is talking about. So I don't know if the falling out between him, his sister, or your mom. I feel he's talking about the other female around you, and someone falling out, and he's apologized for that. But he is talking so highly of your abilities that come from the old female energy on side. I believe this grandma, and I do believe he's also showing an A, the significance of letter A as a significant initial around that side of the family. One of them. Can you take the A?
Someone that has an A in my family.
Yeah, there will be A, maybe your first name or last. Your last.
My sisters.
Is A.
Both of them start with A.
All right, that's what he's talking about then. So he's talking about the love and there's forgiveness. So I'm not sure what he's sorry for, or I think he wants to bring through his loving energy, and I think he wants to embrace the connection. So I don't really tune into this and are kind of not open to the songs that are coming through from Spirit, from him. But also we'll talk about the AA around you, and he wants to acknowledge some kind of he's sorry. So I just want to say that. I want to hand off to Mary Amy, but before I hand this off to Mary Amy, I just want you to understand there's such a loving energy or the family that you have in Spirit. So you should definitely connect with their energy. Think about them, think about voice, think about mannerisms, and you'll have to open that energetic link. So it's very alive. Even though they're in spirit, they're still with us, they're still around us. So just have to reiterate, you understand and utilize internal energy systems so you can become a healer, and it's through brains. So Mary Amy, I know we're running out of time here.
I know we are. We're getting close, and there was a little popping there, but it was a little bit more clear. Hi, Samora, is that how you say your name?
Yes, it is.
Hi, Samora. Okay, so this is what I received. I know you asked a question and said about your gifts. This is what I received. I saw you diving down. Now, you weren't diving into water. You were diving in between two rocks on either side of you. And I saw there were black rocks, and it would be like a straight line moving downward. I saw no ending to that. You are embracing the unknown. What is beneath you? It was endless, infinite. It's all about how you're perceived in life. You are right now at a point of having a sense of choice. It's a difficult transition. So it would be like you diving, if this can make any sense to you, what I saw you diving straight down, it would be like a straight line diving in between two rocks. So whatever this is right now that you're going through is difficult. I also, inward and outward. Okay, so you're diving inward yourself and outward in the physical world at the same time. That's what I received. I saw cursive writing about something related to your signature and how you express yourself. I saw you with a pink stuffed toy. You're ready for something to happen. It represents a playfulness and escape from your responsibilities. You are ready for something to happen, and you are looking for unconditional love. That's what I received.
Yeah. Thank you.
Sure. We are so grateful you called this evening. And we hope that you are going to continue to... Anything else, Michael, before we go that you want to say?
No, I think I've covered it all. I just think, Samora, just definitely look into energy healing. Definitely follow that and start to tune your body into these energy centers and utilizing your hands as a healer. It's going to be very powerful for you, and I think it's going to create a whole shift of your entire being once you start to embrace that healing ability that you have.
It's infinite. That's what I received, because there was no end to where you were diving. And so you're diving inward, and it's really about you accepting and allowing it to happen at whatever pace you want, but it's there for you. So whatever that means, like your intuition will tell you what that is. Whether to you it's opening up a book, it's walking, just thinking about it, whatever it is to you. Going, discovering your dreams, your sleeping dreams. There's something there that you already know. It's about you listening. So maybe go into to just have quiet and silence and see what answers come through to you, because you can dive down into it. So it can happen out here in the physical reality for you, what you want, as well as inward.
Well, and if you were asking for any type of validation or confirmation in regard to that dream you had, so obviously I don't know you, I don't know the dream you had, and for me to bring through the exact information of that dream you had, I think that's a reassurance for you that you need to kind of open to that healing ability and let go of that blockage that's around it. So if you were asking for a confirmation or a sign, I do believe you calling into the show is the sign for you to embrace that and open to that path.
Thank you so much. I got a little bit of what you were saying. It was a lot of popping in that.
Now
for
there's
my
no
dad.
The
now
popping
there's
is
no
gone.
popping. Yeah.
I readjusted my microphone. I may even have a new microphone next week. So if you call us back next week, my voice may sound a little different. There won't be any popping because I think I'm changing my microphone. But yeah, thank you so much for calling in, Samora. We really appreciate you. Really appreciate you calling in, giving us that information about your dream and kind of validating the information that was coming through to us. But, for you, I think that's a confirmation. Just tap into that, tune in, and you're going to be on a new path. So thank you so much for calling in, and tune into Two Psychics, and just listen back, listen to these episodes.
and follow us, and we hope to hear from you again.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Samora. Have a great night.
Have a great night.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, so before we go, everyone, thank you so much for listening, and we hope you follow us. We have our new merchandise. It's on the upcoming show for next week. At the bottom of the page, you can connect and you can get some Two Psychic mugs or T-shirts or totes or whatever you feel like. You can always reach Michael at his website, michaeledley.com, or me, Mary Amy Official. And next week, we have Laura Stenchfeld, a pet psychic. It's going to be exciting. We want to have callers, and she's going to read our animals that come on, And June 27th, we have Julie Clark, Angelic Channeler. You can follow us on Facebook, our Two Psychics radio page. Anything you want to say before we go, Michael?
No, we have some great episodes coming up. And thank you, everyone, so much for joining us. We can't wait to bring you more and more episodes, information, and anything else we could share. Let us know if you want to hear it. But thank you so much for being part of Two Psychics Radio Show.
This was episode 19, Consciousness, and guest Athena in Truth. Everyone be well. Bye-bye.